So something I learned when I was doing my side hustles and all of that stuff. Usually I talk about that sort of period of my life. Most of the time I talk about in a negative frame of mind or put it into a negative light. But I did actually learn a lot. Um, a lot of good things that didn't sort of come from failure, if that makes sense. And that is just doing it. Like, I think as people, like, we always want to just break everything down, like, make sure that it's going to be okay and, like, make sure that it's going to work out, which it makes sense, right? Because nobody wants to do something and it doesn't work. But sometimes we're put in situations where you don't even have time to think about it. Like, your boss comes through and, says, like, all right, please can you do this? We need it done. No one else can do it. And you take it and you just do it. And, like, you figure it out. Because it's like your boss asks you to, like, you can't say no. But when it comes to, like, your own things and your own dreams and your own goals, is you just put it off because you're, oh, like, what if this happens, or I'm not able to make it work, or I'm outside of my comfort zone. Get thrown in the deep end and I don't know how to swim. Like, you just overthink everything to the point you're like, oh, like, it's better just, like, not to do it. I'll take this path instead. Honestly, like, so many times when I was doing my side hustles, like, my mentor would be like, oh, like, do this, do that, do this, do that. Like, recording video sales letters, never done that before ever. And sort of making a whole entire presentation on something called a Miro board, then setting up my phone because I didn't have a camera during these times. Setting up my phone and stacking on books and having like a water ball behind it because I didn't have a tripod or nothing like that. Didn't have this ring light when I was doing these things, and just like making it work and then recording me talking and just doing like a presentation that I would be showing to potential clients on sales calls and sending them over in the DMs. Recording even YouTube videos. My early YouTube videos were horror. For many reasons, I honestly, when you're watching like your YouTubers or just a video, you're looking at it and they just speak so naturally and it's so natural and easy. It's genuinely a skill because it's not normal. Like, you think, oh yeah, well, you just start talking to yourself about a camera, but when you're talking to yourself, that's like no one else is listening. Like, that's not gonna go anywhere. You're not gonna walk outside and someone's watching the conversations on their phone that you're having in your head. Like, it doesn't happen. It's honestly a skill. And then, like, I didn't want my parents hearing or my family and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a skill. And obviously, a big one being like, taking sales calls with people from all over the world. That was like, even now I look back, it's crazy. Obviously, I was terrible my first probably 50. And I remember I took like 25 calls in one week and I didn't make one sale. And for many reasons, like, the people weren't qualified. I was terrible at sales. And then I got, obviously got a much, much better inside closing clients and stuff like that. But yeah, so many times I would do something and I wouldn't think about it because the goal I had, it was like so personal. I wanted to make it work so bad. Yeah, Lance, if you're watching this video, I've just seen your comment on my recent video about I'll just tell you the title because this is gonna come out as like I'm paving my own way in YouTube. Yeah, I appreciate your comments. I'll get back to that after I recorded this, and this one will come out on Sunday. But yeah, like, the reason I didn't even think twice about it is because the goal I had at that time, it just meant so much to me. So it was just easy. It was like, well, if I want this to work, I've got to do this. Someone that is in the situation I want to be in has done all of these things. So like, who am I to say no? Like, I'm not doing that, because they had far better experience than I did. And I know I made a video that, that video I posted on the Friday. Well, today for me, but it's Sunday when you guys will be watching this. I said, like, it's so easy just to go and follow everyone else's journey and just do what they were doing, and not really putting your own spin and making it personal to you. That is still very true, but sometimes, like I did mention in that video, there's things like foundations that you have to do. Like, there's no way, like, you can't avoid, like with me recording, like, if I want to be a successful YouTuber, like, I've got to post frequently. Like, I can't just post once a month, because it's not going to work. These were still within the foundations of the basic stuff that I had to do. Like, I had to do sales calls. I had to post videos to help support the channel and stuff like that. There's just some things you can't avoid. Some of the work you can't avoid. But still, like I said, like, there was a lot of things I could have done differently. But yeah, I just wanted to make that clear, because I never want to be the person to just be contradicting myself. And yeah, it was like, okay, like, let me do it. Even if it's uncomfortable, I'm going to do it. The first times, like I said, I was terrible. The first video I posted, awful. Even the content I was posting on Instagram, it was just so bad. But I was willing to learn, and I was willing to figure it out along the way. Because if you don't, you end up just staying in the same place, and you never end up moving. Then before you know it, you've got a lot more responsibility. You're much older. I don't know, like, your whole life is just taken over, and you don't have as much time, or whatever it is. Like, people say never leave anything for later, because later the coffee gets colder, and so on, so on, so on. You guys probably know the saying, and it is true. It is very true. So yeah, like, don't let excuses hold you back. Something that somebody told me that is so true, and I understand that everybody's situation is different. Okay, like, I fully understand that. But a lot of people, they'll give the excuse that they're too busy. And I remember somebody said that to, like, my mentor once, and there's like, I'm busy right now, I'll do it in a month's time. And he just said to me, he's like, what difference does waiting a month really make in the grand scheme of things? Is that you can start now, even if it's just small steps, you can still start now. And he said, he goes, let me ask you a question. Is there going to be another period of your life when you get really busy again? And he was there like, yeah, of course, like, it's life, everybody gets busy. And then he was like, what, so, like, you're just going to stop it? You're going to stop your work, you're going to stop going to the gym, you're going to stop doing all of these things? And he was like, oh no. And he was there like, so why are you going to wait a month now? He's like, if you're going to be busy anyway, and you could be busy next month or the month after that, he's like, it doesn't really make too much difference. He's like, even if you put in 30 minutes a day, instead of, like, and I don't want to go off on a tangent, it's like, because he's like, oh, like, instead of spending 30 minutes watching TV, you spend 30 minutes just working on this project. And that's another thing, that if you really strip back your life, and you've got to be brutally honest with yourself. But that's where most people that's where most people get it wrong, is they sugarcoat stuff, and they're not really brutal with it. Because, like, I know that I could, like, I don't want to, this is an example, I could put editing in these videos. I'm not, because it just, like I said, like, it doesn't suit my channel. Because I spend, like, time on my phone, I watch YouTube and stuff like that. Like, I could put, more time into the YouTube videos, for example. But obviously, like, I'm completely honest with that. Like, I don't want to edit my videos. And I look back on what my life used to be like. It wasn't healthy, to be honest. It wasn't good. It didn't do me any favors at all. Because, I'm not even doing it now. But, like, I look back and I'm just like, how did I even do it? I used to wake up at 4:30. That this was my life for like 2 years. Yeah, it must have been like 2 years. Well, it definitely was 2 years. I know it was. I wake up at 4:30. I'd leave for the gym at 5:30. Get to the gym for 6. Work out. Start work at 7 o'clock. Because the gym I went to was like in like 5 minutes in the morning to my work. Then I'd work 7 till 3:30. Drive home. Get back at like 4 o'clock. Sometimes at 10 to 4. In from 4 until 8 o'clock, I would just be grinding out my side hustle, just non-stop work. I used to rush through the door, send messages, eat, jump on a sales call, jump on a call with my mentor. It was just flat out work. And I've done it every day for like 2 years. And it's because I was so committed to making it work. Like, it meant so much to me. This YouTube channel means so much to me, but I know, like, and I mean, this is me being honest, I don't feel the same level of, like, I don't want to say commitment, because it's like a routine. Like, I knew the whole time but since I've been home, I need to record and I need to post as well. So I think so much, but I'm not as, like, committed to the channel because it doesn't take nowhere near as much work. Like, I'm my own, like, boss. At that time, I wasn't always my own boss, and people like telling me, like, what to do and stuff like that when I was doing the appointment setting. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't healthy. Like, people online would tell you, like, oh, you got to, work. But again, everybody's situation is different, so don't look at, and that's something I learned, don't look at someone else's situation and think, oh, because that's what I done. I was like, oh shit, like, I gotta put in so many hours, because the people that were telling me what to do, like, all they done was this, what was a side hustle for me. They just done it as a normal, like, I guess it was their version of a 9 to 5, but obviously it's not a 9 to 5. But I was, had my own 9 to 5, came back doing that. It's like a second job, to be honest. But yeah, don't be scared to figure it out along the way. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, it doesn't go to plan. You're not gonna die, I promise you. But yeah, if you're not subscribed, please do. I'll catch you lot in the next one.